Live. Okay. You good over there? You got everything you need?
I have you.
You have me, and that's true. This set looks amazing thanks to you.
Good job, honey.
Look at that backdrop.
Yeah.
Names are nice and big so the elderly could see it.
The elderly.
Perfect.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And I had to rearrange a few things behind you. So I had to put Marty's picture up there, Galen Mosier, a little reflection, but they look good. At 6 o'clock, I got to go live.
Okay, go.
You know all about your giveaways and stuff?
I do.
Good.
I'm Gary Semix,
Okay.
and you're watching Vintage Motocross Q&A with Joe Abbate.
Good evening, everyone. You're watching Vintage Motocross Q&A. I am your host, Joe Abbate. Thank you for joining me tonight. And you may have just heard me mentioning about the backdrop. Susie did an absolutely phenomenal job. Look how nice and big the names are. We can read them. And it's unfortunate that you can't see it right now, but I did put it on Facebook a bit ago. We added a little something to our set. Let me see if I can do this without destroying the earth. Got nice new banners up there, VMXQ&A.
Mm-hmm.
Looks pretty good. And when we have the picture of our sponsors and show supporters, that, of course, will be in the pictures. Susie,
Yeah.
how you doing over there? Everything good?
Everything is good.
You know what you're giving away tonight and all your other little...
Poster for trivia.
Yep.
Stickers for what's it worth. And I'm giving away a mug.
Giving away a mug. All right, great. And you know what? We got some hats that are coming in. Al Roof was a winner of one of the hats and somebody else. We will be sure to get those out to you as soon as they come in.
Right.
And we're going to be giving away mugs in the very near future, as well as our viewer appreciation prizes on each show. If you want to become a show supporter or a sponsor, rather, for just $249.95 a month, we welcome you to join us here at Vintage Motocross Q&A. Reach about 1 million people every 90 days. And a lot of people share the show. It's on YouTube. It's on Facebook. And you could be a part of that. All right. I want to welcome back, and I've been saying this for a couple of, about a month now, replicamotorcycleparts.com.
Yeah.
Thank you, Paul Parkinson Sr. We've got your plaque up behind us as well. It's right here. See it? Very good. Don't forget to share the show, whether you're watching on Facebook or YouTube. Share the show. A little bit later on, Susie will be giving away, she say hats or mugs? What is it?
Mugs.
Giving away some mugs a little bit later on in the show. And if you want to be a show supporter, listen carefully. $49.95. You get a poster, which is out of print, probably worth a few hundred on its own. A T-shirt in any configuration that you like, short sleeve, long sleeve, black, yellow, or gray. Got the cartoon on there, Kurt Evans Classic, got the VMXQ&A logo. And you get an apron, too, all for $49.95. And you get your name on the backdrop for 90 days. Got some people up there like John Cockabell and Alan Huey and a few others. I think Carl Word, who have renewed every 3 months for over a year now. And sometimes they want a shirt or they want a hat. Sometimes they don't want anything. A lot of generosity from our viewers and supporters here at Vintage Motocross Q&A. We're not giving away grips tonight, but it's never a bad time to mention Paul Stannard and Preston Petty Products. Right now, we are going to get back to a video that we were watching last week. This is actually part 2 from Roy Vanderveer. And last week, Roy was explaining to us how back in the Stone Age of the 1980s, you just couldn't call up DG. You had to go through their catalog. Sometimes you had to order something. You didn't know if it was there or not. Anyway, it was a very, very interesting video. And Roy has part 2 for us tonight. Roy Vanderveer.
Duty. And then we get into our DG swing arms, the swing arms of the stars. And all the top guys had their own signature swing arm. Our friend Warren Reed had one. Daryl Schultz, of course, Hannah had one. And if you were fast enough to use those, hold on. RD signature swing arms were a value price $204 back in the day. How can that even be? But amortize that up, it's $862 today. And getting some swing arm today is way more money than that. They had somebody sourcing these out for them that they were able to bring it to everybody at a really reasonable price. Look at cool stuff coming up. We got plastic levers, we got Alry grips, we've got 4130 chrome ollie bars, we've got fork covers and cable saver number plates, as well as Works Bike gas tank kits, side panels, front number plates. Oh, that's good. Tank cal and other Works gas tanks. And those handlers were $9. The grips were $4. The bars were $15. Skins were 10. For $7. You could buy a whole gas tank for $59.50, or in today's money, $251. You could buy a full kit. Back then, $79.95. Since we waited till now, $337. Decals for the tank were just $7.50. I genuinely think that they understood that having those decals out there on the gas tanks was a lot more value than the little bit of profit they would get by marking these things up. So if you bought that today, it would be $31, still way below market price for tank decals. Oh, then we get into a real star of the whole vintage thing. Looking at, gold belts, Jofas, and Scott boots. And I remember Scott boots being really dear. You had to be bucks up to have a pair of Scott boots. So, let's see. Scott boots. $195 in 1980. We put that up against today's dollars, that $125 pair of plastic boots. So that's part of a lot of guys that had them. I never did, and they kind of went out of fashion before it even mattered to me. But I know my first pair of boots I think cost about $80, and they weren't great, but I was able to afford them. So, and moving on to the next page, you start to get in barrel, and it was really bad are these FIM side panels right here, which they were valued at just $21.50. You get yourself a pair of trick new side panels. And the Cool Flow chest protector, their jerseys were all very nice, and their team mouth guards. Then we get into a couple pages of heavy duty apparel. And some more apparel. We got t-shirts, we got vests, we got jackets. And after this, here's the real golden stuff. I think I'm going to break here, and we will talk about the DG racers when I come back in part.
Roy Vanderveer, another great little episode. This time it was on the DG catalog. Really, really cool stuff. If I didn't mention it earlier, did I mention all the sponsors? I don't think I did. You know why? Because I have this picture up, which is an old picture. But anyway, I do want to thank Motion Pro, Preston Petty Products, the International Motocross Museum, of course, Full Circle Racing, and ARMA. Thank you all so much for being sponsors of Vintage Motocross Q&A. All right? Got to thank the people who at least send us a check. Right? Although I'll tell you what, a lot of people have been stepping up to the plate as a show supporter, and I like that very, very much, okay? The Motor Showcase tonight is brought to you by Preston Petty Products. Be sure to visit them online at PrestonPettyProducts.com. And don't forget, your Preston Petty fenders are now made right here in the USA, all right? A lot of talk going on about certain things and how much they cost, and guess what? They don't cost you anything else or anything more because they're made right here in America. Tonight's Motor Showcase bike is brought to us by Steve Sage. Steve Sage sent us this beautiful HL 500. It's TT 500. It's got the 540 big bore kit. But if you don't know much about the HL, I'm going to give you a little bit of a background on it, and then I'll tell you what Steve Sage did with his bike. Originally, this bike was conceived in 75 and 76 by Holman and London. Of course, that is Sten London and Torsten Holman, who felt the Yamaha XT500 engine had racing potential if placed in a better, lighter frame. Design and performance used the modified chassis, initially Husqvarna based, later produced by Profab Norton. It had Fox Air shocks, Simon's forks, a 490cc four-stroke engine. It was tuned to produce roughly 50 horsepower, and a significant increase from the XT500. As far as racing history goes, the bike was raced in the 500cc World Championships by Bink Aberg. He achieved a GP win in Luxembourg. As far as the legacy goes, known as the original two-stroke killer and precursor to the modern Yamaha YZ400F four-stroke, representing a significant shift in motocross technology. Collectability for the HL500 is extremely rare, and they are highly valued by collectors if you find one that is original. Yeah, there are kits out there, and that's what this is, but absolutely beautiful job. And Steve says that this is a fresh build with a GMC number 79, GMC Jeff Morris Concepts, and got a Yamaha TT500 engine in it. It's got the 540 big bore kit. It's got YZ hubs, 79 YZ forks, no lean piggyback shocks, and there you have it. Really nicely done bike. Looks very, very authentic. I want to thank Steve Sage for sending us that bike in, who got the word from his friend Joe Anderson. We had Joe Anderson's bike on the show last week. And apparently Joe and Steve are friends. And man, the side panels and everything on this bike, the paint job, I understand my buddy. I'm looking at this thing. It's a fresh build. Okay. So it's not from the 70s, but it is an extremely well done replica. No question about it. Very nicely done. All right. There you have it. Thanks, Steve Sage. I want to thank everybody at ARMA for being a sponsor of the show. They do sponsor the Next Time Try This segment, which is kind of what Roy does now. So there's a little mixture there with what Roy does. It gives you a little Next Time Try This, and sometimes he tells you about some things you just do not know. And here's the problem segment tonight. It's brought to you by Motion Pro. We got a couple of questions that have come in here. Number one, I got this today from Mitch Brown. Joe, what is the paint code for the VMX Racing Red? This is VMX Racing Red plastic, and it was on eBay for sale. All right. A lot of people will tell you RAL 3020 is the match for it. It is exceptionally close. The red that VMX plastic uses is like the Mako red, 78, 79, 80, I think, 81 too. It is very similar to that. It is not in any way, shape, or form Tahitian red. Believe me, because I've tried it. It is not Tahitian red. I will give you another bit of information that floats around on Facebook, and it is dead wrong. People will say RAL 3020. Yeah. For the VMX plastic, yes. For Tahitian red, not even close. This is Tahitian red. I should have put this up on the same page. Sorry, I didn't get a picture together. But believe me, they're not the same. Okay? So stop telling people RAL 3020 for Tahitian red. That's not it. I did it personally. I bought VMX plastic for a project I was working on. The RAL 3020 kind of close. Good enough for a race bike. It's very, very close. It is not Tahitian red. Don't do it. You're not going to be very, very happy.
Don't
at
do
all.
it.
Okay? What's that, Suze?
Don't do it.
Don't do it. Next question. Alan Huey. What was the most expensive works bike? What is the most expensive works MX bike ever built? The 1982 to 1985 Honda RCs were astronomically expensive and had trick bits and pieces that we had never seen before, not anywhere. Okay. But between the water cooling and the way it was plumbed, from what I understand, this little shift alone is like an $800 part. This happens to be Donnie Hansen's bike from 1982. The subframe, the aluminum, the trick bits, the titanium. There was a change in gas tanks between Supercross and Motocross. I mean, the bike just looks feathery light in this picture. Now, at that time, I forget what year it was though. Honda USA has to buy works bikes from Honda of Japan. You just don't get works bike because you have Bob Hanna or Marty Smith riding for you. You have to order a bike and you have to pay for it. Honda of America has to pay Honda of Japan for it. You couldn't even imagine. I know how much it is. I got that information from the inner circle, a very inner circle, who said to me, if you tell anybody the price, you will not be in the inner circle any longer. So I will not tell you the price. Okay. But, when you hear, you've heard at the time, it was even, you know what, I'll say this. They showed Marty Smith's bike and Pierre Karsmacher's 75 RC 500 and RC 125. They were on the cover of Cycle World. They said Marty's bike was $18,000 and Pierre's was $30,000 in 1975. You aren't even close for the 82 to 85s. Way more. Okay. So the most expensive bikes, Alan, the 82 to 85 Honda RC, 250s, 500s, and probably 125s too. We got trivia coming up. Mm-hmm. But you know what? I'm going to take a little break. Then we'll be back with trivia. We'll have a little more from Dave Boydston and everybody else. Got a new Did You Know segment from Jeff Kokoski. We've got some other cool stuff coming up as well. We'll be right back with more Vintage Motocross.
I'm Brock Glover, and you're watching Vintage Motocross Q&A, and we'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Paul Parkinson with Replica Motorcycle Parts. I'm sitting here with our test bike, which is ridden by Jerry Maddox. It carries the #1 plate in the US. Let's go over a couple of the parts that we've got on here. We've got our ignition cover with the case saver built into it, so that when the chain comes off, you're not damaging your cases. Spacer, foot pegs. Jerry runs our air box. Seat brackets, keeps the seat on tight so he doesn't fall off when he's going over the whoops. And then on this side, Jerry runs a couple little things, a lot of little rubber parts on the bike, and that stuff are all done by us. And then down here we've got our brake pedal, which has got needle bearings in there, and then it's got a wider toe peg, so it gives them a real nice, clean, easy to use brake. And then this is our latest part. This is a CR250 type knuckle. In fact, Honda used them on the last versions of the MR175, and this is a real trick aluminum Kickstarter arm. So that gives them lightweight, strength, and reliability more than anything else.
As promised, I will bring you trivia right now. And trivia prize tonight is, of course, the poster. I have a picture of it right here, but you guys know what's going on. Come on. Got a poster just like this. Just like this. Hello. 18 by 24 poster of Jimmy Weiner and Tony DiStefano. This was a 2004 cover of Racer X. Trivia is brought to you by Mike McCook and Motorcyclist Illustrated on Facebook. Be sure to visit them over there. It's a very diverse page, and there's a lot of cool stuff there, as always. Now, trivia is a call-in contest. This is the number. 925-784-2195 is
925.
925-784-2195. And I've been doing this lately. I think it's a little bit more fun than just no pictures and just a question, but I do want to know who this is in this picture. Who is this rider in this photo? And this is a test for a 1994 on the line racing Honda CR 125. I'm going to tell you a little bit more about that bike in just a minute, but who is this person testing a 1994 on the line racing CR 125? Can you tell me? Hope somebody's going to know in just a minute. All right. In the meantime, we're going to get down to Dave's Classic Corner, brought to you by Dave Boydston, AMS Racing. Be sure to visit them online at amsracing.com. And also, follow Dave on Facebook on his personal page. His personal page, he's always out there at swap meets, at races, gives us a lot of great information here, some segments on bikes and things that are going on at AMS. Okay. So let's get down and see what Dave Boydston's got going on at AMS today. And maybe by the time this wraps up, we'll have a winner. What do we got?
Mm-hmm.
This is day 3 on the 75 360 CR Husky transformation. And I'm just showing you the bike real quick. Some of the parts. I think I'll probably have white number plates on it, but I did have some of the actual Euro International yellow up there, and I just wanted to show you those. Very clean bike, just had been replaced with more modern stuff on it and hardware from the hardware store instead of replating all the original. Today I'll swap this front triple clamp out with the correct one, the front axle, the chain adjusters, bolts, and the pinch bolts with the correct hardware. A little more detail. And so here's number 1. I'll show you another video.
All right, Dave Boydston bringing us a really nice bike there from AMS. He's got another video, and I want the other video. I think it was, what happened was I asked for a video a little bit early. I got this one, and then just yesterday I saw that bike a little bit more complete with the number plates on it. You went around with the camera, and I'll bring it to you next week because I'm that kind of a cat. All right, let's see. Oh, there's still no answer to the trivia. Who is this rider riding this on the line racing Honda CR 125? I mean, it is a Honda, but it was called On the Line Racing. And I'm going to be bringing you information about the On the Line Racing team, which went over about a 5-year period. All right. Let me do this. Let's have a little bit of fun here for just a second. No, let's not have fun just yet, because at the bottom of that picture, it doesn't just say it, but it has the person's name. So let me not do that, and I will get back to you on that. If you don't remember On the Line Racing, Ty Davis won a Supercross championship on an On the Line Racing bike. Extremely trick, very, very expensive, and able to keep up with the factory bikes at that time. Who's the test rider right here in 1994? And we got Dave Boydston, right? Let's get to What's It Worth. What's It Worth segment is brought to you by Full Circle Racing. What's that? Yeah, Tom McAllister. Thank you, Tom McAllister, for all you do for us here at Vintage Motocross Q&A, and for all you do for vintage racing throughout the country, especially in the Northeast. This is the part of the show where I suggest or request you, the viewers at home, guess how much you think this bike recently sold for. The winner will get some nice Vintage Motocross Q&A stickers, compliments of Susie Creates and Sue Abbate. And Jeff Kokoski, you got some stickers coming too for that stand that you and your buddy Ron made. But in the meantime, tell me how much you think this bike recently sold for. 1976 Honda CR 250M Elsinore was refurbished under prior ownership, acquired its current owner in 2022. The bike is finished in red, is equipped with a 248cc two-stroke single paired with a 5-speed transmission. The equipment includes wire spoke wheels with did alloy rims. It's got the aftermarket expansion chamber, exhaust system, a solo seat, a kickstarter, cross brace handlebar, key and carburetors, side stand, and high mounted fenders. The bike was refinished in red, it's matching frame, red matching frame in the refurbishment under prior ownership. It is for sale in Arizona and comes with a bill of sale only, no title. Details include a black vinyl seat, a grab bar. Some of these, I'll tell you, these descriptions are pathetic. Side stand, high mount fenders, aftermarket serrated pegs, front and side panels, wire spoke wheels, as they mentioned 15 times. It's got Dunlop Geomax MX33 tires on it. Suspension consists of a conventional fork and dual preload original chocks and swing arm. It's got a Proform PFR upswept expansion chamber. The seller states that the engine was overhauled under prior ownership with replacement top and bottom ends, along with bearings, seals, and gaskets. Now, I'll tell you, in 1976, this bike was not very competitive. I mean, the 76YZ, and I'm a Yamaha guy, was kind of a tank by then, and I still think it was a little bit better than this bike. Forget a Mako or a Husky or a Suzuki RM, which were oodles of them up and down the starting line. But whoever restored this bike did a very, very nice job. Very nice job. The plastic looks great. I mean, they took some liberties with the engine and the pipe, but overall, I think this is a really, really great looking bike. I mean, at some point, somebody had it either inside their house or inside their office, and this is just one of those things. I guess it was 1976 too, and as we mentioned just a bit ago, you know, you had the Marty Smith, Pierre Karsmakers thing going on, a few other riders, Eierstad, Tommy Croft, of course, at that time, and this sort of resembles that. One thing perturbs me slightly about this bike is that back fender. I don't know why it's pointing due northwest the way it is. More north. Yeah, west I could say. But north, I don't know. Other than that, how much do you think this bike recently sold for? $2,500? If you think $2,500, you still got your communion money. $6,500? $7,000. Look at that bike. Look sharp, right? This bike sold for not a whole lot of money. $4,400 on Bring a Trailer. There was no reserve. This is a confirmed sale. $4,400. And I'm going to take a look in the comments quickly because sometimes I see things that Susie does not.
What was it?
4,400.
Oh, Mark.
I've got Rick Sparling at 39. Rick Pickering, I'm sorry, probably means $39.99, $37.50. Williams, Alan Huey, $46.50. Ooh,
Mark
Alan.
Pape and Brian Webley at $43.50.
$43.50.
Yeah, both of them.
Who?
Mark Pape.
Mark Pape and Brian Webley.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do this.
Hold on. Let me keep looking. 43. Yeah, that's the answer.
Mark Pape and Brian Webley.
Yeah.
Send me your addresses. Mark Pape, Brian Webley, send me your addresses, and you are getting stickers, compliments of Sue Abbate, Susie Creates, and Vintage Motocross Q&A. You got to send me your address, though, okay, guys? Send it to my personal page in a message. My phone number is on the Vintage Motocross Q&A page. You'll find it there. You know what I like that's slippery? Ooh, that's right, Amsoil. Thank you, Russell Waters and Amsoil, for being a show supporter for so many years now. And they not only have grease and oil and lubricant, they got some incredible cleaners there too. I love their window cleaner. Foamy, it doesn't drip, doesn't go down your window. Beautiful, 25% off when you go to the oil people at .shopamsoil.com. That's the oil people .shopamsoil.com. And Russell Waters also is a representative of Castrol now. All right, Castrol and STP. The man is an oil mogul. He is the J. Paul Getty of North Carolina. All right? Russell Waters. We have Did You Know coming up in just a moment. In the meantime, I am going to take a little break, and we will be right back with more Vintage Motocross Q&A. Did I do this one right? No, I didn't do that.
I'm Gary Wilson, and you're watching Vintage Motocross Q&A.
I get asked often, what's the most important thing on Clunker? Answer simple, it's me. That's why I use Full Circle Racing wheels prepped by Tom McAllister. So should you. Watch this and learn why. When racing vintage motocross where suspension is very limited, your wheels can be the difference between winning or serious injury. We chose to run full circle racing wheels because of the super high quality materials and the heavy duty spokes used. Prepped by Tom McAllister, I have the confidence on the track to push way harder through the rough stuff and the bigger jumps, knowing my wheels are going to stay under me. Hey, Clunker may be 50 years old, but his wheels are brand new, and yours should be too. Call Tom McAllister at Full Circle Racing today.
McAllister, Full Circle Racing, for being a longtime supporter of Vintage Motocross Q&A. You guys don't know who this is? I'm going to give you the biggest hint. If you're a moto guru, you will know the answer from this hint. The guy that's riding that bike started off at the parts department at CZ. The guy that's riding that bike started off at the parts department. I think it's the warranty department, actually, at CZ. All right? We don't know yet. Susie's still standing by. In the meantime, we are going to move on with the Did You Know segment. This is, of course, brought to you by Jeff Kokoski. Jeff was took a little break from the show, had some things to take care of, but in the meantime, he has bounced back with some really, really great segments, including a couple in the past few weeks, and we're going to get to the next one right now. So did you know? For those of us old enough to remember the Academy Award-winning movie, The Graduate, where neighbor Mr. McGuire advises recent college Benjamin Braddock, played by Dustin Hoffman, I just want to say one word to you, just one word. Are you listening? Plastics. He added that this is a great future in plastics. That was 1967. Whether he saw the movie or not, in northern Italy, young Franco Atrebus was struggling to find his direction in life. A few years later, he would develop the plastic company that bears his name. But did you know how Atrebus got started? Very, very interesting, Jeff. Born in 1946, by the time he was a teenager, Franco Atrebus couldn't think of anything beyond his passion for two wheels. And, as is often the case, the young man infatuated with motorcycles. That enthusiasm interfered with his schoolwork. Fearing he didn't have any direction in life, his parents sent him away to a vocational school in Milan, where he planned to become a photographer or dental technician. Fortunately for the motorcycle world, those programs were full. So Atrebus had to choose between automotive electrical systems or a relatively new business in plastics. He, of course, did choose plastics. After graduation, he worked in the industry for years. After that, he worked in the industry for a few years by sealing fiberglass swimming pools, but his passion for motorcycling, especially off-road racing, never really went away. For a while, he even raced for the Milan-based SWM brand, and he even attended a few International Six-Day Trials events back when it was known as the International Six-Day Trial instead of just the International Six-Day Enduro, as it became in 1981, in the late 60s and early 70s. Now, for a while, or in 1973 rather, the International Six-Day Trial was being held in Dalton, Massachusetts, and Atrebus jumped at the chance to visit the States to help assist with the Italian team. At that International Six-Day Trials, Atrebus met and talked with Preston Petty, the undisputed godfather of the original plastic fender. With Petty's newfound fame in the plastic world, Atrebus' formal training in plastic engineering, it was most likely an engaging conversation, even though Franco Atrebus spoke very little English. And we have another little picture here that Atrebus factory is very, very impressive, no question about it. Here's another piece of one of the Atrebus plates that came up a little bit later on, and we've got this picture right here. Anyway, according to Paul Stannard, owner of Preston Petty Products, after that, the ISDT in Massachusetts, Atrebus flew to Oregon to meet with Preston Petty, eventually inking a deal for Franco to be the distributor of Preston Petty products in Europe. Well, that is very interesting. Anyway, Atrebus started making fenders for Preston Petty products, and Atrebus Plastic Italia was born. To show how strong the fenders were, Atrebus had a display where KTM had hung a cable attached to a front fender. At the time, Preston Petty Products was in the same financial trouble due to a mismanaged buyout, so Preston told Atrebus to start making his own fenders. But Franco Atrebus had a broader vision for using plastic well beyond fenders. As for off-road bikes, it began to adopt plastic gas tanks. The Cherbie started to make larger replacement tanks for polyethylene due to its incredible resistance and impact. And there's another picture right here of a Cherbie's products on some bikes. Anyway, 10 years later, I'm sorry, it was hard to believe at the time when enduro bikes did not have their headlight incorporated into the headlight mask, but that was the case throughout the 70s. In 81, a Cherbie's was the first to incorporate a rectangular headlight into a plastic headlight mask. It debuted on the Italian International 6-Day Enduro bikes on the island of Elba off the coast of Italy, appropriately called the mask, the Elba. Picture 8, according to Jeff Kokoski. Unfortunately, Jeff, this is picture 8. Okay, not that it's unfortunate. Anyway, 10 years later, Cherbie started making the first wraparound handguards for plastic. As soon as it started developing side panels, radiator shrouds, skid plates, disc guards, frame guards, anything that he could think of that could protect the bike and the plastic. But Franco with Cherbie's was not satisfied with limiting his products to motorcycles, ATVs, or even the motorcycle world. He began to design gear as well. Remember these? Pretty cool. Anyway, for the moto guys, he developed a bendable, full flex chest protector, the ARS, which stands for Cherbie's Racing System, complete coverage, chest, back, and shoulder protector, boots, complete riding gears, the lead to relationships. This led to relationships popular with riders like Ricky Johnson, Talon Volan, rally racer Johnny Campbell, and Stefan Everts. They also expanded their offerings into protective gear, sportswear for soccer, basketball, rugby, volleyball, skiing, and mountain bikes. They even created an industrial division that supplied polymer tanks to the agricultural, earth-moving, and material handling sectors. Wow. Got a lot of cool stuff going on here. We got a picture of some of the tanks that we were talking about. Anyway, today, 50 years later, Cherbie's is still based in Albino, near Milan, in northern Italy, at the foothills of the Alps. Although not a huge company, Cherbie's generally generates $100 million in revenue annually. Wow. It employs 450 people. It ships to 100 countries around the globe, and there is no sign of stopping for Franco Cherbie's. At the age 80, he's still involved in the company because of his passion and enthusiasm for sports. According to Cherbie's, passion is what opens the path for us. Determination and perseverance are what guide us. Jeff Kokoski, another brilliant segment on the Cherbie's line of plastic. That's really great. In the meantime, the phone did ring while I was reading that for you. And let's see who's on the phone. This is Joe Abbate. You're live on Vintage Motocross Q&A. Who am I speaking with?
This is Tim.
Tim who?
Tim Christie.
Tim Christie. Thanks for calling in tonight. Tonight's trivia was, who is the test rider on this bike, on this 1994 On the Line Racing 125?
Yeah, and it was Roger.
It is. It is the one and only Roger DeCosta riding a two-stroke 125 in 1994. Tim, I want to thank you for calling in. Did Susie get your address? She did. She's nodding her head yes. So, yes, Tim, yes, she did. Thank you for calling in. I've got your name up on the backdrop. You know what? I don't know if you could see it in the, I don't know if it's necessarily. No, you can't really see it right now, but it's up there on the backdrop. I got a picture of it on Facebook. Thank you for your support. And we're going to get you whatever it is we're giving away for the trivia tonight. Oh, the poster, the apron, and a T-shirt. Just a poster?
Wonderful.
Oh, yeah. You know what? Hey, Tim, you're a show supporter, so you paid $49.95. So you must have already received a poster, a apron, and a shirt. But I'll send you another poster. No, did you get it?
Okay. Yeah, I did.
Okay, you got the stuff I originally sent you, but I'll send you another poster, all right?
Okay, all right.
Thanks, Tim. All right, now.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Roy Vanderveer was the one who came up with that trivia question. And today, I don't know if you know who created On the Line Racing. It was Terry Good, okay? And he built this bike, and Ty Davis did win a Supercross championship on it. This bike weighed 196 pounds. It had everything you can imagine in titanium, the rarest aluminums, the thinnest possible. There was a dirt bike test on it. The bike weighed 196 pounds. I am going to have Terry Good on this show, and we are going to make a segment, a whole show on the Line Racing and how it began. I had Terry on the phone for just a moment today because I wanted to ask. Roy did the research. I'm sure it was Roger DeCoster, but I wanted to know a little bit more about that. And we got to talking. We were on the phone for like an hour and 20 minutes. So we have agreed that we're going to be coming back with Terry Good on a future segment, and we are going to be talking about the on-the-line racing and how it all started. Okay? Congratulations, Tim Christie. You are tonight's Vintage Motocross Q&A winner. All right, we are going to take a commercial break. We're going to hear about the International Motocross Museum, and Susie will be back with This Week in MX History. Buckle up.
I'm Brock Glover, and you're watching Vintage Motocross Q&A, and we'll be right back.
Motocross struck America, coming from Europe like a lightning bolt, striking the hearts and minds of people all across the country and the world. Battles of intense racing and cutting rivalries with loyalty to brands and heroes intensified as years of blood, sweat, and dirt flew through the minds of those memories of champions as they wrestled their machines through almost impossible tracks. But where are those past champions? And where are their bikes? Terry Good, an ex-pro motocross racer, has made it his life mission to honor these heroes and the bikes they rode to stardom. We raced, we rode, we lived and breathed motocross. Go back in time and relive those moments, now preserved for the first time ever in the world's first museum dedicated to the history of motocross. Our new building is in the gate. Help us get a great start and you can be part of history. Go to internationalmotocrossmuseum.org and become a part of our team.
Motocross Museum is a not-for-profit 501c3 organization. Be sure to visit them online at the internationalmotocrossmuseum.org. They're also on Facebook and on there's some great videos on YouTube. And as I mentioned a little bit ago, we are going to have Terry Good on in one of the upcoming episodes of Vintage Motocross Q&A in the Works for Me segment. And you are going to hear a story quite unlike anything you've ever heard before. How he started on the line racing, how it went for 5 years, and how it humbly began. And I'll tell you part of it right now. It started with a piece of cardboard and a piece of aluminum. I kid you not. Now over to Susie with This Week in Motocross History. Susie, who is This Week in Motocross History?
This Week in Motocross History
is brought to you by?
Is brought to you by where?
It's on the screen.
Oh, Racer X. I'm looking all over the page.
That's okay.
Is brought to you by Racer X. So in 1984, the Atlanta Supercross at Fulton County Stadium was won by Team Honda's Johnny O'Mara over Suzuki's Mark Barnett and Kawasaki's Jeff Ward. In 1989, after watching his Honda teammate and captain Rick Johnson win the first 5 rounds of the 1989 AMA Supercross Championship, Jeff Stanton gets the first win of his professional career at Atlanta's Fulton County Stadium after RJ and Guy Cooper make mistakes in the main event. Cooper's a spectacular crash. He had a spectacular crash, I guess, right?
I guess he did. You said it twice.
Stanton, who will go on to win 3 AMA Supercross titles and 3 AMA 250cc Pro Motocross Championships in the next 4 years, Lee Johnson and Suzuki's Johnny O'Mara.
Now, go ahead.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You have something to say?
No, when you get to the one about the helmet cam.
Oh, 1995?
Yeah, and Michael Rocco?
Yeah.
Are you about to read that?
Yes.
I just want to say something to the viewers at home. I couldn't find a picture of LaRocco with that camera on his helmet.
Oh, you couldn't?
But early on, I think this is race car driver Jean-Paul Surtees, I think, on the left. And check out that camera. But way back in the 60s.
They had.
Look at this.
Holy cow.
Imagine that. That is 1962-63 world champion Jeff Smith. And he's putting around out there on a BSA, probably in England. And look at the amount of can you see the camera on his chest?
Yes,
That's incredible, right?
it is. And now today they're the size of a little tiny microphone,
Yeah.
right?
So what do we got on Mike LaRocco, Suze?
1995 Kawasaki's Mike LaRocco got the win at the Atlanta Supercross inside the Georgia Dome. His teammate, Mike Kiedrowski, finished second with Yamaha's Jeff Emig third. Team Honda's Jeremy McGrath, who, like Johnson in 89, had started the season with 5 straight wins, was wearing a helmet camera with a battery and a recording device for the race. Jeremy probably would have won 6 in a row had he not slammed into the back of Honda's Troy McCrae as he was going for the lead. After that, everyone seemed to think the helmet cam was bad luck, and it became difficult to get any of the top riders to wear it during the races, at least not until the lightweight GoPro came of age. That's true, huh?
Yeah. Is that it, Suze?
Yeah, back to Joe.
All right. Great job, Suze, on the announcements.
Thank you.
No, that wasn't the announcement. That was This Week in Motocross History. All right. You have a viewer appreciation prize?
I do.
All right. Why don't you tell
I
us?
have the prize and the name.
Do you really? I'm going to put the camera back on you. You can break the news, Suze.
So this week, viewer appreciation winner is Wade Thiessen. Wade Thiessen.
What did he win?
I'm going to send him probably a mug.
Okay. Wade Thiessen. Be sure to get Susie your address.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
Wade Thiessen.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Suze. You did an absolutely exquisite job.
Thanks.
I think you have a history or a future in broadcasting.
Yeah, no.
All right, let's get down to the announcements. Then we'll wrap up the show. The announcements are brought to you by the International Motocross Museum. Racing season is here, fellas. All right, and you've got the Missouri Vintage Motocross Club. They've got their first race coming up at Possum Hollow, March 28th and 29th. If it's a little too soon for you to make that one, April 18th and 19th at the John Brown Woodview. All right, they got a lot of 2-day event coming up, and just so much more happening there with the Missouri Vintage Motocross riders. Who else do we have with some events coming up? I know I have it right here. Oh, you know what? Let's not forget this. The CZ World Championships happens on Saturday and Sunday. There's a 3-day event. Is practice on Friday that happens on the 24th, 25th, and 26th of April. Get a bit of an international crowd there. So check out their website. And if you get a chance to come out to California and visit that event, it's something that truly is, if you're into CZs, it's absolutely spectacular. Okay. Holeshot Hill and the Finger Lakes, that's coming up. You got regional vintage trials. We got cross country, all ARMA events supported by Motion Pro and some other sponsors there as well. You want to make sure you check out your Facebook pages or the websites of all your regions for ARMA, and of course some of the splinter groups too that have a lot of racing going on throughout the season. Burroughs Ranch, April 11th and 12th. That's a Saturday and a Sunday, or is it a Friday and a Saturday? No, it's Saturday and Sunday, but they've got something going on there on Friday as well. Probably a cross country race and some other cool stuff happening there. And the Northwest Vintage Series is out there from ARMA. That happens. First one happens on March 9th. That's at Red Bluff. And Leapfrog Trails in Vacaville, California, not too far from me. Okay. My buddy Al Roof sent me something in. Got the Carolina Firewater National Cross Country coming up March 14th and 15th, 2026. That's at the Silver Hawk Plantation. You even allowed to have plantations down here anymore? Let me not overstep my boundaries here. Anyway, get a hold of Al Roof or the Carolina Firewater. That's part of Potomac Vintage Riders, a great group. I love being with them every year, the night before the York Swap Meet. In the meantime, we've given away stickers. We've given away a mug. We've got Tim Christie is the winner of the poster. And that wraps it up for this week at Vintage Motocross Q&A. I hope you enjoyed the show. Don't forget to continue to share it. And if you want to become a sponsor or a show supporter, we'd gladly love to have you on board, okay? Racing season is I spoke to a little bit earlier this week. brought us a lot of cool coverage last year from a lot of races. He is going to be back on the road with Ridermatics. In fact, they just won the Motocross the States, I think it was called. Motocross the States. It was a vintage event. He and Ridermatics were big winners there. So we're looking forward to getting Jerry Maddox back here at Vintage Motocross Q&A. Brings us some really, really incredible stuff. He's been walking around here. Gino.
He's right underneath you.
Come on, Gene. Oh, come on. Can you get up here from that side? Come on. Come on. Come on, Gene. Come on. You got it. Come on. Go the other way then.
Go get him, Gene.
Come on, Gene.
No, go by Dad.
Come on, Gene. Come on this side. Now, come on. I think you got better traction on this side. Come on. He does. He does, because I got a little rubber mat over there.
Oh.
Okay?
There's Hambone.
Oh, my God, Gino. You love me? I love you, too. That's it for Vintage Motocross Q&A. We'll see you next time.
Good night.